Hello, my name is Kayla Morales. I'm a PhD candidate at the University of Texas at San Antonio. I am originally from Puerto Rico, Aguadilla. My dissertation project is focused on going back to my own community and looking at how older adults and their families, their caregivers, experienced the Hurricane Maria and the time up to the COVID-19 pandemic. For me, it's really important to tell these stories because after Hurricane Maria, there was a lot of issues with getting out the stories of the people who had the most needs, who experienced the worst parts of the hurricane and the aftermath of the hurricanes. My project is centered around care and caregiving and how people care in times of disaster. So for me, as a Puerto Rican, as a Boricua, and also as an anthropologist, this was my way of being able to care for my own community, being able to gather their stories, listen, spend time with them, and put their stories together so that eventually the world will be able to hear from them, to hear from the people who weren't behind the cameras, the people who weren't on TV, the people who didn't receive the disaster aid that the federal government, that FEMA was promoting that they were giving out. There were a lot of people that were isolated and left alone. And those stories are the most important. I think that the more that their stories are heard, the better we can create a future where disaster management is centered around a community and based within the community so that the supplies, the aid reaches the people that needs it the most. And in reality, in Puerto Rico, the true agents of disaster management, of disaster recovery, were the local people themselves, not the government, the bureaucratic agencies that were bringing aid. It was the local people who were caring for elderly who were alone, who were bedridden. They were the ones going out and bringing them supplies and food and even just giving them quality time, someone to listen to their stories. And I tried my best to also be that person because this is a very personal part of my story as well, how I experienced the pandemic, the hurricane, as someone who was not able to physically be with my community during that moment. So going back and hearing their stories has also become part of my story.